Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallava Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Nandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamuna Thira Vanachari. Thira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallava Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Nanda Vraja Janaranjana. Yamuna Thira Vanachari. Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallava Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Nandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamuna Thira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Jani Chalila Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Astashata Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jani Chalila Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Astashata Shishimad Bhakti Saranta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namachaya Shila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोगोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय. वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय. मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय. श्री गंगामय की जय. यमुनामय की जय. तुलसी देवी की जय. भक्ति देवी की जय. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki Jai. Shri Harinama Sankirtan Yagna Ki Jai. Cow Protection Ki Jai. New Govardhan Farm Community Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Reading from Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adya Lila, Chapter 17, Text 12. So the chapter is called Pastimes of the Lord in His Youth. It's a very, very significant chapter. So the stories and the pastimes continue. So we are at text 12. Please repeat. Tabe Nityananda Swarupera Agamana Prabhuke Milia Paila Sadbhuja Darshana Tabe Nityananda Swarupera Agamana Prabhuke Milia Paila Sadbhuja Darshana Tabe Nityananda Swarupera Agamana Prabhuke Milia Paila Sadbhuja Darshana Tabe Nityananda Swarupera Agamana Prabhuke Milia Paila Sadbhuja Darshana. Thereafter, Nityananda Swarupera, of the personality of Godhead Nityananda, Agamana, appearance, Prabhu Ke, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Miliya, meeting, Paila, obtained, Sadbhuje Darshana, a vision of the six-armed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. After this function, at the house of Srivas Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu appeared, and when he met with Lord Chaitanya, he got the opportunity to see him in his six-armed form. Please repeat. After this function, at the house of Srivas Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu appeared. When he met with Lord Chaitanya, he got the opportunity to see him in his six-armed form. Purport. The form of Sadbhuj, the six-armed Lord Gaura Sundara, is a representation of three incarnations. The form of Sri Ramachandra is symbolized by a bow and arrow. The form of Lord Sri Krishna is symbolized by stick and flute, like those generally held by a cowed boy. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is symbolized by Sannyas Danda and Kamandalu, a water pot. Sri Nityananda Prabhu was born in the village of Eka Chakra in the district of Birbhum as the son of Padmavati and Hadai Pandit. In his childhood, he played like Balaram. When he was growing up, a sannyasi came to the house of Hadai Pandita, begging to have the Pandit's son as his brahmachari student, brahmachari assistant. Hadai Pandit immediately agreed and delivered his son to him, although the separation was greatly shocking, so much so that Hadai lost his life after the separation. Nityananda Prabhu traveled on many pilgrimages with the sannyasi. It is said that for many days he lived at Mathura with him, and at that time he heard about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes in Navadvip. Therefore, he came down to Bengal to see the Lord. When Lord Nityananda came to Navadvip, he was a guest at the house of Nandana Acharya. Understanding that Nityananda Prabhu had arrived, Lord Chaitanya sent his devotees to him, and thus there was a meeting between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. The verse again. After this function at the house of Srivas Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu appeared, and when he met with Lord Chaitanya, he got the opportunity to see him in his six-armed form. Nityananda Prabhu, very, very significant for Gaudiya Vaishnava culture. Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the exalted transcendental divine pastimes, they are the direct manifestations of Krishna and Balaram. And when Nityananda Prabhu grew up at his father's house, he played like Balaram. no one could understand his playfulness. Why is playing like Balaram? Is imitating or just being himself as Lord Balaram? Of course, the onlookers, the great devas and devis, great rishis, they could perceive him as Lord Balaram directly manifesting in his beautiful childhood pastimes. Just like when Balaram and Krishna played as cowboys in Brajabhumi. Bhumi means the holy land of Vrindavan, where these extremely exalted pastimes took place. Radha and Krishna, Krishna and Balaram in their youthful years, teenage years. And there's a place, there's an area in Vrindavan called Raman Reti, where Krishna and Balaram played their teenage a bit earlier in those years. At the age of 10 up to the age of 12, 13, 14, they played with the cows, they herding the cows, very sweet interaction. And Balaram, being the elder brother of Krishna, Balaram was very protective. No one could touch Krishna. Krishna was a younger brother. Very interesting, because in previous yugas, Trecha Yuga, when Krishna Balaram appeared as Lord Ram and Lakshman, Lord Ram was the elder brother. Krishna was the elder brother. And Lakshman, who's actually Balaram, was the younger brother. But in this instance, at the end of Dwapar Yuga, Krishna came as the younger brother of Balaram. So, in these beautiful pastimes, which coming into Gauriya Lila, Nityananda Prabhu, the original Balaram, appeared. And as we know from the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, Narottama Das Thakur, all the great Vaishnavacharyas since Mahaprabhu's appearance, the Nityananda Prabhu is the original spiritual master. As we know, Krishna expands to Balaram, and Balaram further expands. Ananta, all great personalities, Sankarshan, the 4 manifestations, and further expanding to the Vishnu Purusha avatars. So we can see that the original form is Krishna, the cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam, the cause of all causes. So he expands to Balaram. So Nityananda Prabhu is actually Balaram. He came here to relish the beautiful relationship which he had since time memorial, since eternity, of course, because Krishna and Balaram eternal forms. They have no beginning and no end. So Nityananda Prabhu wanted to relish these extraordinary dealings and pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, extremely special manifestation of Krishna. He's not an avatar as often expressed. Sometimes we say that, but actually he's an avatari. He is the origin of all incarnation. He's directly Krishna himself. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gora Sundara, the golden avatar, extraordinary. Why? Why is so extraordinary? Because he's not only Krishna himself, but Radha and Krishna in one body. Therefore, he takes up Gora Sundara, golden form of Shrimati Radharani, the original mother of this entire cosmic manifestation, the eternal, most beloved concept of Lord Krishna, Shrimati Radharani and Krishna. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes this form, Krishna himself, Gora Sundara, performs his beautiful pastimes, ocean of love and ecstatic symptoms. And Sri Nityananda Prabhu, attracted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, it's all beautiful pastimes. We may not always understand every detail in the story because we have to have a very pure heart where Nityananda Prabhu can sit. And if we study the songs of Narottama Das Thakur, Nitai Pada Kamala, Srila Prabhupada gave a very beautiful purport. Please read. It's in a songbook, Vaishnava songbook. It's a couple of pages, very beautiful. And Srila Prabhupada emphasizes the pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Their playful mood. When Nityananda Prabhu recognized Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, oh, he's Krishna, directly. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he couldn't suppress his golden avatar form. He couldn't, he just had to manifest his Sadbhuj, we call. He was Krishna himself with the flute and the stick as a cowboy, and the bow and arrow rolled Ramachandra, and the sannyas, the water pot, and the sannyas danda, what the sannyasis, the renunciates carry. So he had 6 arm forms because when he saw Nityananda Prabhu, he couldn't contain himself. Similarly, when Krishna was in, sometimes Lord Narayan visited Braj. Very beautiful stories of Rajamandal. And when he saw the gopis, he couldn't contain his Narayan form. He had to become Krishna, the original form. Because the gopis completely rejected all other worshipable forms except Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. So similarly, when Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met, was a very significant in the entire Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita teachings because Krishna and Balaram again united in their loving interaction, loving pastimes. And you see, as we read on the chapter, especially when we go to Madhya Lila and Antya Lila, the other sections of Chaitanya Charitamrita, constant loving interaction between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu is extremely significant to all Gaudiya Vaishnava students. Because without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, we cannot approach Krishna. We cannot really comprehend his position. Just like we cannot approach Krishna without his devotees. And Nityananda Prabhu is the original spiritual master, the Adi Guru. He's directly here to help us in his most merciful, kind form. Therefore, all the Vaishnavacharyas, especially Narottama Das Thakur, not to speak of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, constantly, repeatedly glorify the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nitai Pada Kamala. Without their mercy, one wasted his whole life. As Narottama Das Thakur explains, it is a very beautiful chapter, lines here. Nitai Pada Kamala, Koti Chandra Shushitala, Jai Chaya Jagat Jurai. Narottama Das says, Hari Hari Bifala Janama Go Nainu. Anyone who does not approach Radha and Krishna through a relationship with Nityananda has uselessly spoiled his life. Brita means useless, Janma means life, Tar means his, and Sambandha means relationship. Anyone who does not make a relationship with Nityananda Prabhu is simply spoiling the boon of his human form of life. Without elevation to Krishna consciousness through the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, life is simply spoiled in animal propensities of sense gratification. Narottama Das says that ordinary animals can be tamed, but when a human being is animalistic, having only animalistic propensities, he is most horrible, for he cannot be tamed. So it's just emphasis, metaphoric emphasis, that once we have the opportunity to take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we should hang on to their lotus feet with their life and soul. We should be very grateful to our spiritual masters, not to speak of the great Mahabhagavatas coming down from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and before, because even before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, Madhavendra Puri was already preparing the scene. Madhavendra Puri was the spiritual master of Ishvara Puri, and Ishvara Puri was the spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, and of course, we are very fortunate to become humble students of our great teachers coming down, Mahabhagavata Acharyas, Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, coming down to Srila Prabhupada and his representations, because the parampara continues. This is a timeless wisdom coming down here, since Vyasadeva and then Madhvacharya, coming down to Panchatattva, Sri Panchatattva. And as we are aware, we know that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the golden avatar, the appearance, the advent of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming up soon. You can see the calendar. We greatly celebrate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance because he's so dear to us. Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, the original Krishna and Balaram, is very dear to the devotees because they coming here not only to enjoy their own divine pastimes, but to inspire the jivas, inspire all living entities to realize their original position. Without that, we are spoiling our lives. Because spoiling means that if one remains in ignorance and not taking advantage of this great opportunity to develop love for Krishna, develop devotional service in the most humble way as possible, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught, Trinada Pi Sunichena, as we sing every morning, Shikshakshtaka, to remind us about the pure principles of devotional service. These 8 slokas contain everything, the entire Vaishnava philosophy, Vaishnava Siddhanta, everything is there. So when we study Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Katha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, and there are many ways Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings and Nityananda Prabhu's teachings are described. Vrindavan Das Thakur, not to speak of the beautiful songs, Narottama Das Thakur, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Jiva Goswami, the Goswamis, they were very close to Mahaprabhu. Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami was expert writer, not only poet, but he could compile vast, extensive literature on the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. We all know that he compiled a very important literature for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas called Hari Bhakti Vilas and many others. And Hari Bhakti Vilas was actually told by Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who was originating from southern part of India. After meeting with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu advised him to go to Vrindavan and teach the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, teach my devotees the Pancharatrika Vidhi, the rules and regulations of becoming a civilized human being, worshipping the Archana, the deity form, understand Vaishnava principles. So there are many regulations which Gaudiya Vaishnavas are conscious of. And when Srila Prabhupada set up the Archa Vigraha worship, Archa Vigraha means worshipping the Lord in the temple, he basically had the principles based on Hari Bhakti Vilas. And some by Bhaktivinoda Thakur also. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was emphasizing cleanliness, punctuality, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur, as we all know his life, he was in charge of the Jagannath temple in Jagannath Puri. He was a magistrate court judge. He was very particular about high standard of worship and cleanliness and punctuality, and also the mood of this worship. So Srila Prabhupada was precautioning the devotees to be careful, not to jump prematurely to a higher realms of devotional service. We have to go gradually, patiently. So he said, worshipping Radha and Krishna in our stage of realizations, we should in the mood of Lakshmi and Narayan, with awe and respect, cautiousness, following rules and regulations. Devotees should be very careful dealing with the Lord, not to offend. We have to be very careful. Miss Krishna is here. He agreed to come here. He agreed because Srila Prabhupada and the Gaudiya Vaishnava line, the Parampara, they blessed this line. So Srila Prabhupada introduced Krishna consciousness in the West, being empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So these deities, Krishna himself, is obliged to his devotees. So if a devotee requests, of course there are installation rituals and invocation, inviting the Lord to be present, but ultimately the sincere prayer and invitation of a great Mahabhagavata like Srila Prabhupada, Lord Sri Krishna, Radha and Govardhan Dari very kindly appeared here. They directly here. It's a question of perception and realization. And that can be, we can all have, when we have that love and sincerity within our heart. Krishna actually reveals proportionately. More advanced we are, more we can perceive Krishna on the altar. They're not just some marble statues. Krishna is directly manifesting in this form. Archa Vigraha. Vigraha means form. A beautiful divine form. So we worship them, and eventually, as we progress, and gradually our hearts will be clean and pure, and we can perceive the darling of Raja Bhumi, Radha and Krishna, beautiful pastimes, and Krishna Balaram. But Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it very easily accessible, their sweet pastimes. And Nityananda Prabhu is the most merciful, most kind form of Krishna ever, because Nityananda Prabhu is so kind. If you remember the pastimes of Jagai Madai, how he tolerated all the offenses, not even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could tolerate it. If not for Nityananda Prabhu, Jagai Madai would be finished. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came, Patita Pavana, to save the most fallen souls of this age. But Nityananda Prabhu is even more merciful. Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu going door to door, begging. They used to go village to village, house to house, in the sannyas cloth, renunciates, begging everyone, please chant the holy names of Shri Hari, Lord Krishna, and be happy. Be blessed by the holy names, the most pure, divine names of Krishna. When you chant Krishna, Krishna, He's directly there. So this is the most powerful and most effective process ever. And we are very fortunate because we are either direct disciples or grand disciples of Srila Prabhupada. And we have some taste somehow or other because of the assembly, the blessings of the devotees here on a daily basis. We come together and get strength. Come for Mangalarti, come for class. Follow the guidelines of Srila Prabhupada. We should be very carefully hang on to these rules and regulations. Success is guaranteed because when we are together, we gradually, this dormant love of Krishna will manifest. It's a powerful process. So devotees who are patient and very sincere, and of course some intelligence required, because we have to study, we have to understand the rationale of our philosophy. This is not a blind process. Highly scientific and rational. The great transcendental scientists, the great teachers in our line, they're presenting the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal wisdom, the eternal solution to our problems in the material world, which is Janma, Mrityu, birth, disease, old age and death. And no one can deny this. The material world trying to deny, they're in denial. How can we deny birth, disease, old age and death? We all have to face it. Every one of us. A question of time. Birth, the samsara, we take births, we experience tribulations, disease or whatever, all kinds of suffering and happiness. And old age, who can deny that? And death, which is troublesome to the original jiva, the pure soul. We're not meant to confront these difficulties. But that was our choice. We are here in the material world, so we have to face it. Therefore, Nityananda Prabhu comes with his extraordinary mercy, giving us this clue, this knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Nityananda Prabhu is so kind to us. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard that Nityananda Prabhu arrived into the village. He couldn't contain himself. He had to manifest the Sadbhuj form. My eternal brother, my original expansion. So Krishna, as we know, he's always with his devotees. So when Nityananda Prabhu came, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally met. It's a very significant part of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, because after this Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we call a Gora, Nitai, Gora, Nitai, Nitai, Nityananda Prabhu. So they went, they performed their beautiful pastimes together. Everything they did together was extraordinary lesson to all jivas in this whole cosmic manifestation. Just like the humility of Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu going door to door, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always saving the day. Somehow or other, he chastised Jagai Madai. How can you offend Nityananda Prabhu? He's so kind to you, comes to your door. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, my direct expansion, coming to your door and begging you to chant the holy names. How can you offend him? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised them. He was going to kill them with his Sudarshan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Sometimes he can't hide himself anymore. He's just manifesting his weapons. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, our most beloved personality. Krishna himself, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So look at the pastimes. Look at these pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we're building up this momentum to the appearance, the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is coming about 3 weeks time, I think, 2 weeks time. So we should feel these emotions and feel love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He gave us so much. He gave us a very powerful and easy process, which is Nama Sankirtan, Sri Nama. And what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are very blessed to Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees. Every day we should have these reflections, somehow or other, to be so grateful to all the devotees, especially to our senior Vaishnavas who had a close association with Srila Prabhupada, because we can learn so much from them. We should take advice and guidance from advanced devotees and carry on our journey in spiritual life. We'll be successful. We should be very positive and optimistic. If we take shelter of Srila Prabhupada and his devotees, success is guaranteed. This is not maybe, no, guaranteed. Be confident. We're going back home, back to Godhead. There's no way. We can't stay in this material world. We have to get out of here. It may take time. Individual journey also. We have a collective journey together as brothers and sisters in the family of Srila Prabhupada. But there's also an individual effort. So we all have to be sure. We all have to be careful to follow 4 regulative principles as Srila Prabhupada taught. Chanting 16 rounds carefully and study his books and keep the association of devotees. We can't go wrong. We just have to hang on to these very, very fundamental principles. And we'll be while we do that, we'll be very happy and joyful, regardless of our daily experiences. We know sometimes we feel like this, feel like that, but we just all together, we are very happy. Kirtans, classes, service to Krishna. I mean, so ecstatic, extremely ecstatic. Am I right? Am I right? Hare Krishna. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is blessing us, and Nityananda Prabhu. And when you visit ISKCON, which is the birthplace of Nityananda Prabhu, ISKCON is a very beautiful, very small village, and there are temples all along with Sadbhuj, a very special deity, 6-arm palm. Sometimes you see devotees have Sadbhuj. Sad means 6. These just manifesting these extraordinary form, which is obvious that he is Krishna himself, because Ramachandra appears, Krishna himself, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a sannyas. Wow, this beautiful pastimes manifesting in form. So when he saw Nityananda Prabhu, he couldn't contain his sannyas form. He had to manifest his Ramachandra form and Krishna form. So this very beautiful meeting. So in the chapter will continue. Other pastimes will come on. And so we relish the sweetness of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and a relationship. So, and that's what I can say about this purport and verse. Any comments or questions? There's so much. Yes, Hare Krishna. Okay, animalistic quality is really You see, just like in our Vaishnava philosophy, we understand the modes, the gunas, the three modes of nature. Krishna also explains the three modes of material nature. There's a whole chapter on this. We have the tamaguna, rajaguna, sattvaguna, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. So, animalistic quality is really dominated by mode of ignorance, forgetfulness. When one identifies with the gross physical, psychophysiological makeup, I am the body, designations, disregarding the spiritual kind of identity, the original identity of the living entities, and therefore they in that gross ignorance, which impels them to act sinfully, unfortunately. Animals, they're not under these laws of karma because they're just programmed by nature. They instinctively, it's a natural for them. A tiger is a tiger. You know, they have the instinctive propensities. But a human being who has developed intellect, rational, supposedly rational thinking, he should be able to discriminate between the lower modes and act in a way that he can be categorized as a human being, a civilized human being. Without becoming a human being, very difficult. It's not even possible to understand God consciousness. So first we have to become human beings by following the rules and regulations and carefully avoid sinful activities. Anything which distracts us from Krishna consciousness should be given up. We should be bring our consciousness, bring our focus back to Krishna and devotional service. And everything related to Krishna, whatever we do should be dovetailed in the service of Krishna. Because then we are civilized. According to Vedic perspective, we are civilized. Otherwise, we're not civilized. And without civilization, what can we do? We're going to harm ourselves and harm everyone else also. So mode of ignorance is not good. Srila Prabhupada uses the word animalistic because it's just a comparison. Because, a human being is not meant to be animalistic. We're meant to be human beings. To question life, we have to have a quest. Why we are suffering here? What to do about it? And we hear from the authorities. Not everyone has the chance. So we are greatly fortunate to hear the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, study his books, questions and answers, hear the classes, because we develop knowledge and clarity of thinking. We can distinguish this is correct and this is incorrect. And we make our choice. Free will is always there, so we have to be very careful. We have to make sure that we have a clear vision, clear mind, and knowledge. Then we can make the right choice. And then we'll be happy. That's all. We all want to be happy some or other. So if we choose the path of goodness, submission to spiritual authorities, then our life is okay. No problem. We'll be very happy and real freedom comes. Happiness and joy and freedom to serve Krishna. This is the true nature of the soul. What else to do? If we just act like animals, eating, sleeping, mating in a very gross form, then animalistic. Although these are kind of natural propensities, as long as we have this body, but when we act as a civilized human being, then we are not animals, we are human beings. In civilization without God consciousness, there's no such a thing. Actual civilization comes when God consciousness is there, being aware of the laws of nature and the realities and the transcendental realities of life, which we have to hear about. So we cannot just rely on our own senses and sense perception. We have to hear from authorities. Then we understand what is being animalistic and what is being a human being. So this kind of classification has to be understood, that either we behave like a human being or an animal. It's up to us. And if you want to become a human being, the formula is there. The formula is there. We have to take shelter of the process of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, we dictated by the lower qualities, tamaguna, rajaguna. And you can see the whole world is running on that track of mode of ignorance. Shri Chaitanya Charita Amrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Was okay? There's one devotee in Movalumba who's got a beautiful sadbuch there, made of neem wood. If you like, you get when you go to India next time, get one for yourself. Simple, Mahaprabhu. Yeah, you get a little neem one. You can get one. Nice to have a bit of a personal day. You don't have to.